Hello everybody, and welcome to Fake Skill Friday. Please don't expect this to be a weekly thing. The Speed Duel League's Discord is not that productive at making skills, and I can't make that many. Well, at least for a long period of time. So I'm just going to kind of randomly do these whenever enough pop up that I think are neat, or I dump enough out. Only one of these is mine, actually. The one we're looking at today, firstly, is Ursus's. It is Ursus's creation. That still sounds weird. That's how you say it. I made a slight modification to part of this skill, trying to do what Ursus wanted, but there's really no way to do what Ursus wanted without it sounding clunky one way or the other, so I went with what I went with, so it's less clunky sounding. Probably made it better than intended, but it's less clunky, so whatever. I'll explain as we get to it. Now, as you can tell, this is a Gradius skill, because we have, well, all of these. Look at this. We've got a whole pile of these things. Now, this doesn't work for Flint, but then again, Flint doesn't work inside of its own series of cards? Series, yes. None of them actually reference each other, technically. Thereby, they are not technically an archetype. Anyway, the skill in question, which, by the way, if you would like to use any of these, they are all available. I made them for you. You can just go find them. Is called Commence Pursuit Maneuvers. Look at my fabulous art. I'm so good at this, aren't I? This is totally not just the option card slapped in there as art. Oh, I didn't do that. Anyway, you can activate this skill during your main phase. You can only summon set machine monsters whose original attack is 1200 or less. Battle damage inflicted to your opponent is halved. Light machine monsters you control gain these effects based on the number of face-up monsters you control. If it is 1, they gain 1200 attack during damage calculation only. Alright, that's pretty nice. I mean, we are battle-focused. Makes sense. 2. You can add to your hand one machine monster whose original attack is 1200 or less from your deck or graveyard. Then discard one card. You may do this a number of times equal to the number of light machine monsters you control with different names. This is the skill I had to change, because this skill, the way Ursus wanted it was to work once per name, period. And I can't think of a way to phrase that without it sounding super clunky. So I changed it to this, and this is technically better because you can use it multiple times. Basically, Ursus wanted it so if you were to use it with Jade Knight, you could never use it with another Jade Knight. So basically, in this deck, you could do the effect 3 times. The way I have it is you can just constantly use it so long as you have a search target. I don't think that's broken, but it could be. You just need to have a card in hand to discard for this. Number 3 is just gain another 1200 attack. So if you have 3 cards, they go to 36. They get freaking huge, and that's sort of the point here. You're battle-focused, remember. So at the start of the battle phase, you can special summon one monster from your hand, but that monster is returned to your hand during the end phase of the next turn. This effect can only be used twice per duel. So that's a way to just spam out and get an easy, to knock yourself up a number. Basically, it's an easy way to get to number 3 if you need to get there, because you, for some reason, don't have a Victory Viper that's created a token. This deck has not been tested. This is just me slapping together something that I think is vaguely on theme with this, and this is basically my first thought. It's really just all the good ships. Victory Viper at 3, Falchion Beta at 3, Jade Knight at 2. You can go to 3 if you wanted. I don't really see the point. It's only okay. Cosmic Cyclone and Night Beam for removing back row. You're going to eat Awakening at some point, and it's going to suck, and there's really nothing you can do about it. United We Stand to get even larger, and then you can laugh at basically anything that comes out of that. Then we get Floodgate and Nightmare Wheel because those are staples. So, this skill is fun. I like it. It's boosting a series of cards that doesn't actually have any support from Konami, which is deeply unfortunate because they would be a lot of fun to play as. Why we didn't get that, I don't know. I just don't know. I don't understand. It just seems like a kind of a waste. You gave us the cards, but they don't have anything to support them. So, that's probably what most of these skills are going to be, me just finding neat things. And I do encourage you guys to find someone to play these with, because it is neat and quirky. But we shall move on to the next skill. Alright, so, this skill is sort of a collaborative effort, but the particular one I am taking is Jack's version, which got slightly modified by me, but I mean very slightly. I added just one clause, and I'll explain that to you. It's called It's the Time Wizard. And yeah, this is a Time Wizard-centric skill for Joey, because what the hell, why not, right? That's totally not gonna end in, you know, an absolute hellscape at some point. I'm just gonna give you the whole skill, because the deck will make some kind of sense. And if you can't tell, I'm a bit on a United We Stand kick, but it's a decent equip spell. So, once per turn, if you summon a baby dragon, you can add one Time Wizard from your deck to your hand. That's why there's 3 of them in here. It's not a very good card, but it does get you Time Wizard, which, hey, we'll take it. Once per duel, if you activate the effective Time Wizard, you can determine the result. So yeah, you just get a board wipe once per duel for running Time Wizard. Pretty good. 3 is the big reason that you actually run this. Once per turn, immediately after applying the effect of Time Wizard, in which you called the coin toss right, you can activate one of the following effects. You can banish one baby dragon from your hand, field, or graveyard, and special summon a 1,000 dragon from your extra deck. That's why there are 3,000 dragons in the extra deck. The other effect is, you can banish a Dark Magician from your hand, field, or graveyard, and special summon a Dark Sage from your hand or deck, ignoring its summoning conditions. Your opponent takes no damage for the rest of the turn. Now, the only change I made is I allowed Dark Sage to come out of hand because, well, Jack forgot that Dark Sage's own effect lets you do that so long as you have a Dark Magician. And honestly, it's not that big of a deal, so I just put that in there. Otherwise, it was just going to be deck. Feel free to take whatever version of that you want. I think this is neat. So this deck is kind of just a pile of ways to get to Time Wizard, or just removal to stall long enough. So it's DD Warrior Lady, we have Dark Sage as a payoff, we've got our Time Wizard, who's kind of our big enabler here, we have Baby Dragon, we have Dark Magician, who is solely here to get us Dark Sage. We have Creature Swap, which can be searched with Dark Sage, so we can give them our Time Wizard to beat over with our Dark Sage. Or Baby Dragon. You know, you wind up with extra things, we should do stuff with it. Creature Swap's a great tool for that. I have United We Stand because I wanted a spell card to search. You can kind of do whatever you want here. If you're running Creature Swap, you can do other things. I mean, you can't use Solitary Sword of Poison, which kind of sucks. Otherwise, I'd be all over that. We can't use Fusion Weapon because 1,000 Dragon is too big, and it's kind of the best thing we have. You could use Mage Power if you wanted. You could just stick whatever weird spells you want in here. I mean, you can take out the DD Warriors and put in Book, but I don't see the point, personally. You could use Breaker instead. Basically, mess around with this deck as you want. Again, first thoughts. And then the usual 5 staple back row traps, because that's just what we do in speed duels. I think this skill would be a lot of fun. And actually pretty decent. I mean, Time Wizard... Yeah, I'm eating my normal summon, but Time Wizard lets me nuke the board, so... I'll take a once per game Raigeki. That sounds great. And if I happen to have Baby Dragon in hand, I get 1,000 Dragon out of this deal. So... yeah, I'm down. That sounds great. That sounds like a lot of fun. Now, on to the final skill. Okay, so I'm biased because this is my skill. Rage of the Beast, which I have actually modified from the first time I made it. I'll explain when I'm done reading it. Also, this deck I already made once for other things. I've just slapped the skill in here because it's perfect for it. Alright, so, once per turn, you can discard one Beast, Beast Warrior, or Winged Beast monster, then target one Beast, Winged Beast, or Beast Warrior, or Winged Beast monster you control. That target gains 100 attack times the discarded monster's level. So, for instance, we have good old Phantom Beast Wildhorn on board. Alright, I have Crosswing in hand. I shall now chuck Crosswing to make him go to 21. He will then gain the effect of Crosswing to then go to 24. That is the entire point of this skill. I decided to be nice and add Winged Beasts to this, because frankly, Harpies kind of need it hand, so I just said that. But there's more to this skill, because I wanted to be nice to these decks, because frankly, they don't have a whole lot, and this particular effect is really only good for Phantom Beasts. So, Beast Warrior, and Winged Beast monsters you control gain 100 attack times their level when they declare an attack. They're all Steam Right. I turned them all into Steam Right. That's what we're doing here. So, this turns him into a 2800 on the attack. Combine this with the joy that is Horn of the Phantom Beast, and he gets huge. He gets really big. That is a 3600 piercer. Oh yeah, we're having a ball here. Of course, you can just chuck more crosswings and get bigger and bigger and bigger. So, the design philosophy behind this, because I can talk about that because I'm the one who made it, so I can explain my thought process here, is that Beast Warriors and Beasts generally need an enabler, because Bazoo wants monsters in Grave. But we don't have any good discard outlets. I mean, Tribute to the Doomed is fine, but that's kind of it. It's not, like, amazing. We don't have a lot of good, consistent discard outlets. So, I made a skill that did it. So for Bazoo, you get monsters in Grave to banish for later, and he gets a boost anyway, so that's nice. For Phantom Beasts, you get a way to pitch Crosswing and Thunder Pegasus. That also kind of benefits Vorse Raider and Enraged Battle Ox if you want. I mean, that's it. That's what this is for. I decided to add the Winged Beasts to this because, well, Tri-Brigade references, firstly. And secondly, I just want Harpies to kind of have their own thing. Because currently, there's really nothing to enable Harpies at all. Other than the Harpy Amazonas deck, which is its own build, specifically. So I thought, why can't they just benefit from this? You summon Harpy Lady 1, she goes to 16, you can pitch another Harpy Lady, she goes to 2000, and then on the attack, she goes to 2400. Neat! That's fun. Not mind-blowing, just kind of fun. So, that's my deck. And I like this skill. It's simple, and it works. And it probably wouldn't be all that great anyway competitively, but it would certainly help Phantom Beasts, because the whole point of them is to attack and hit things very hard. So, did you guys like this? Do you guys like this format? Do you want me to keep going? Do you think these are dumb? Are you gonna bother to use these? Can you find anyone to use these? Let me know in the comments below. Please put your fake skills down there. Or, better yet, go to the Speed Duel League Discord and put them in there so everyone else can see them, and then I can make little cards of them and make art. I say make art like I'm not just taking Yu-Gi-Oh! Card art and slapping it in there. You know what I mean. Anyway, like, share, subscribe, all that wonderful stuff, and I will see you guys all later. Peace out.